So you're playing the game, watching somebody else use it, or just watching videos on it, and you think to yourself, damn, what a sexy ass weapon. Then you bring yourself to try it, but then you realize you don't know what the you're doing. You need help with that? I got you. I'm Fano, and this is my Charge Blade Fast Pass breakdown. Try saying that 5 times fast. Holy shit. First of all, you're overthinking it. As technical as it is, it's really not that hard of a weapon. How so? The weapon has a very simple goal in each encounter. It provides everything that you need in a weapon and has a very easy combo string. Allow me to explain. I gotta admit, I am really glad to see you're still interested. To start off, Charge Blade has 2 modes, Sword Mode and Axe Mode, both of which can be upgraded as the fight goes on, but I'll get into that soon. In Sword Mode, as you attack and guard, your files, see that right to the weapons icon? Yeah, right there. Will change color from gray to yellow to red. Yellow charges 3 files, while red charges all files. Then you got the really red files. You do not want to be in this. This mode provides no benefit at all. All it does is just makes your weapon bounce. This can obviously make you mess up a lot, and it makes you charge up your files automatically. So if you were saving your files for the next charge, you're going to miss out. Files come in 2 types, elemental and impact. Elemental files adds the elemental effect that's on your weapon to the files, resulting in boosted damage depending on the monster that you're fighting. Impact files supply fixed damage along with stun power to knock out the monster, much like any other blunt weapon. Charging your files past the 5 file limit overcharges your files. Overcharged files just boost the damage of moves that uses your files. The next most important thing is charging your shield. There are 2 ways of doing this. Method number 1. While you charge your files, you hold down circle or B. I don't play on PC, but I'm confident that you guys are smart enough to figure that out. Method number 2. If you already have files, follow these inputs. The move is called elemental round slash. You'll see this in a couple other instances. What this does is boost your defensive capabilities and makes your files do more damage. This also unlocks a new move in Axe Mode. Now that you got that down, let's finally finish up Sword Mode. While charging your files, hold down triangle or Y to charge up your sword. Not only does this boost your sword's damage, but it also adds tick damage depending on the file type that you are currently running. This also makes it so that your sword doesn't bounce at all, allowing you to be more reckless while in sword mode. Now that we got the long part out the way, it's time to move on to Axe Mode. In Axe Mode, you have an upswing, a downswing, and directional swings. That's your basic attacks. Then you have your secondary attacks called Elemental Discharge. These attacks are what uses your files. Every single time you swing, it uses a file and adds a little tick damage effect, depending on the file type that you're using. These elemental discharge swings can also lead up to this move called Amped Elemental Discharge, or AED. Or you can straight up just activate AED by pressing triangle and circle, or your respective input. Now, assuming you all paid attention earlier and charged up your shield like good students, you could also activate SAED. This comes after AED, AED follow-up, or after guarding. This move uses all of your stored files and does heavy damage. Now you're probably thinking, damn, they was not lying when they called this the Charge Blade. I really have to charge my weapon every single time I want to use my attacks? That sucks. Now, what if I told you that there's a way to conserve your files and still get the effects of your files on the moves that would normally consume your files? Well, now that we're done with the basics, it's time to get to my favorite part. To activate Savage Axe, you have to press triangle right after perfect guarding, clashing with the monster, popping a wound, popping a mounted wound, or attacking a weak spot with your focus strike. When Savage Axe is activated, the first thing that you will notice is that your elemental discharges doesn't take any files, and your AEDs only take half a file. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, for people who pick this up for the first time, notice that the axe is spinning, but you're not doing any extra damage. That's because you're not holding down the input that you're using to attack. Allow me to demonstrate. There, you see? There it is. It's like a little not a little, what am I saying? It's a big ass chainsaw, bro. Now the most advanced piece of tech for this charge blade is the guard points. Guard points are basically the start or the end of certain moves that highlight the shield in a white outline. The moves that activate the guard points are as follows. Perfectly timing these guard points can activate the perfect guard, which in turn can obviously activate Savage Axe mode. Now that we're done with the entire moveset, it's time to talk about the flow. Charge Blade is one of, if not the most versatile weapon in the game. It's got pretty much everything that you need in a weapon. It has heavy hitting attacks, decent mobility, and a very good shield. The thing with this weapon is that you want to swap between sword and axe mode whenever you see fit. You in a safe spot close enough to the monster where you can safely do damage, switch to axe mode. Playing neutral with a monster looking for an opening to attack you, swap to sword mode so you can easily defend yourself or move out of the way of attacks. Is a monster knocked out cold, flailing around, just waiting for you to do damage to it? Obviously swap to your biggest damage dealer, bro. Axe mode. What are you doing? Go crazy with it. The point is, adaptability is key here, and the combos are the easiest to pull off. There's no real thinking behind this weapon. Play it long enough and it becomes second nature to you. This is just a recommendation on what skills to use with this weapon. I'm going to start it off with skills that I just cannot use this weapon without. First skill is Tier 3 Quick Sheath. The Charge Blade has a very slow sheath animation in the game. This makes repositioning and diving a bitch to deal with, but Tier 3 Quick Sheath does make it so much better. Then we got Tier 2 Load Shells. This makes it so that even yellow tier file charge charges to max, and red tier maxes out the files and overcharges the files. This just makes it less of a hassle to charge your weapon up. The last skill that I just cannot live without is Rapid Morph. Personally, I have this maxed out, but you can get away with Tier 2. What this does is boosts the speed of all the moves that swap to either axe mode or sword mode. This also boosts the damage of the swap move. As you can see, it is noticeably faster with Rapid Morph active. That's about it for the recommended skills. There's also skills like damage and affinity buff jewels, artillery, and offensive guard. Personally, I only really rock offensive guard, but you can pretty much live without them. Just stick with the ones that I highly recommend and you will be fine. And there you have it. I tried to keep this short and sweet for you guys. Hopefully it was very informative and enjoyable for y'all. If it was, do me a favor and like and sub and comment your experiences with the Charge Blade. Maybe a little before and after experiences, you know? Stick around for more. I'm going to try to cover every weapon type in Wilds, even the ones that I dreaded the most. Alright, let's see what we get. Spin the wheel! Let's fucking go! That's easy. That's light. That's light. I can do that. That's light. I can do that.